Ladies and gentlemen, I came to tell you today, stay on track. No matter what comes against you, no matter how hard the road gets, no matter who walks away or what storm rises up, stay on track. Life will test you. Oh, yes, it will. Life will throw distractions your way. Life will tempt you to give up. Life will make you wonder, is it even worth it? But hear me, if you stop now, you'll never see the promise. If you quit now, you'll never see what God had in store for you. Some of you started with a dream, a vision, a fire inside of you. You had momentum, you had passion, but somewhere along the way you got tired. Somewhere along the way you let distractions pull you off course. Somewhere along the way you allowed disappointment to make you sit down and settle for less than what you were created for. But I came here to wake somebody up. I came to shake you out of that complacency and remind you, you are too close to give up now. Look at your neighbor and say, get back on track. You've got to understand discipline is the engine that keeps you moving when motivation runs out. It won't always feel good. You won't always feel inspired. But if you make up in your mind that quitting is not an option, nothing can stop you. Hear me. Obstacles are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. The betrayal, the rejection, the failure, the delay, it's not meant to break you. It's meant to build you. It's meant to shape you, strengthen you, prepare you for where you are going. God is using all of it. And this is why you can't afford to let the wrong people speak into your life. If the voices in your circle are not pushing you forward, they are holding you back. Some people are only meant for a season. Don't let temporary people talk you out of your permanent destiny. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it yet. But let me tell you something. It won't always be like this. If you stay faithful, if you stay the course, if you refuse to quit, there is a breakthrough ahead of you. There is favor ahead of you. There is victory on the other side of this struggle. So I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care how many times you stumble. I don't care if you have to crawl. Just stay on track, because if you keep going, one day you will look up and realize you have arrived. Now, somebody give God a shout and stay on track. You can't stay on track if you don't know where you're going. The first step to staying on track is having a clear vision of where. Without a destination, you will wander aimlessly, reacting to life instead of directing it. If you don't define your purpose, distractions will define it for you. If you don't set your course, circumstances will set it for you. Think about it. When a train leaves the station, it already knows where it's going. The tracks are set, the route is planned, and nothing, no storm, no delay, no obstacle can change its final destination. The train doesn't stop just because it hits rough terrain. It doesn't turn around just because it encounters a dark tunnel. It keeps moving because it was built to reach the destination. The same is true for you. You were not created to drift through life without direction. You were designed with purpose, with destiny, with an assignment. But if you don't define that purpose, you will let life push you off track. People will pull you into places you were never meant to go. Situations will shake your confidence and make you doubt where you're headed. But hear me, the vision God gave you is not up for negotiation. What He spoke over your life still stands. This is why you must write it down, set it in your spirit. Remind yourself daily, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm working toward, this is what I will accomplish. Because if you don't stay locked in on the destination, you'll start responding to distractions instead of pursuing your destiny. You'll spend years going in circles when you were meant to go forward. And let me tell you something, the enemy doesn't have to destroy you, to stop you. All he has to do is distract you. He will send people, problems, and pressures to make you forget why you started in the first place. He will make you doubt your calling. He will use delays to make you think it's over, but it's not over. If God gave you the vision, he will make the provision. If he called you to it, he will carry you through it. So I ask you today, do you know where you're going? Are you moving with purpose, or are you drifting? Are you locked in on your destination, or are you being pulled in every direction by distraction? Because if you don't get clear on your destination, you'll never stay on track. Set your focus, fix your eyes, keep moving forward. The vision is waiting for you. You just have to stay on track. Distractions are one of the greatest threats to destiny. Not every delay is a denial, but every distraction is designed to detour you from your purpose. If the enemy can't stop you, he will distract you. He will distract. If he can't break you, he will try to bend your focus until you lose sight of what you were called to do. Distractions don't always come as obvious obstacles. Sometimes they show up in the form of good opportunities that are not God opportunities. They come disguised as relationships that seem right but pull you away from your purpose. They come as temptations to chase validation, approval, and applause instead of staying committed to your assignment. One moment of misplaced focus can cost you years of progress. Look at Nehemiah. He was building the wall, staying focused on his assignment, but his enemies kept calling him down, trying to pull him into meaningless battles. But Nehemiah refused to come down. He refused to be distracted because he knew his work was too important to stop. And that's what you have to do. You have to recognize that not everything requires your attention. Not every argument needs your energy. Not every opportunity is meant for you to chase. Some of you are wondering why you feel drained, why you feel stuck, why you feel like you're not making progress. It's because you've been feeding distractions more than your destiny. You've been pouring into everything except what God actually called you to do. Every time you stop to entertain negativity, every time you get caught up in unnecessary battles, you are losing momentum. If you are serious about staying on track, you have to protect your focus. You have to be disciplined enough to say no to what doesn't align with your assignment. You have to train yourself to recognize when the enemy is trying to waste your time with things that do not matter. Because the truth is, distractions don't always look like trouble. Sometimes they look like comfort. Sometimes they look like entertainment. Sometimes they look like harmless detours that keep you busy but never move you forward. Hear me. You don't have time to waste. Every moment you spent off track is a moment you could have been closer to your breakthrough. Every day you entertain distractions is a day lost in your journey toward your purpose. So stop letting unnecessary battles pull you away from your work. Stop allowing the noise of life to drown out the voice of God. Stop wasting time on things that don't feed your future. The enemy will always try to lure you off track, but you have to make up in your mind, I'm not coming down. I will not be distracted. I will not waste my energy on things that do not align with my destiny. Because when you refuse to be distracted, nothing can stop you from reaching what God has for you. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay on track. Discipline is the engine that keeps you moving when motivation runs out. It's easy to start strong when you're excited, when the vision is fresh, when the dream is alive in your heart. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when progress feels slow, when the results don't come as quickly as you expected? That is when discipline takes over. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline is a decision you make every single day. Discipline says, I will keep going even when I don't feel like it. Discipline says, I will keep working even when I don't see results yet. Discipline says, I will stay committed even when quitting looks easier. Look at an athlete. They don't train only when they feel like it. They don't wait until they're in the mood to prepare. They wake up early. They push their limits. They keep going even when their body says stop, because they know the prize is only given to those who endure. The same applies to your life. You will never achieve what you are called to do if you are only committed when it's convenient. Some of you are frustrated because you don't see progress, but the real question is, are you disciplined enough to stay consistent? Are you showing up every day, giving it your all, even when nobody is clapping, even when nobody is watching, even when you feel tired, discouraged, or overlooked? Because the truth is, greatness is built in the moments when nobody is watching. A dream without discipline is just a wish. You can have all the talent in the world, but without discipline, you will never see it fully manifest. Talent might open doors, but discipline keeps those doors open. Gifting might bring opportunities, but discipline is what will sustain you when the pressure comes. Some of the most successful people in the world are not the most talented. They are simply the most disciplined. They are the ones who refuse to quit. And let me tell you something, your destiny is too important to be left to feelings. If you wait until you feel like it, you will never stay on track. If you wait until the conditions are perfect, you will never move forward. Sometimes you have to push yourself even when it hurts. Sometimes you have to train yourself to keep going even when you're tired, because the prize doesn't go to the person who starts, it goes to the person who finishes. So make up in your mind today, I will stay disciplined, I will stay committed, I will stay on track, because when discipline drives you, nothing can stop you from reaching your destiny. Obstacles are not designed to stop you, they are designed to strengthen you. Every great journey comes with challenges, and every person who has ever accomplished something significant has had to push through adversity. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is not talent, not connections, not luck. It's the ability to face obstacles and keep moving forward. Too many people see a challenge and assume it's a sign to stop. They hit a roadblock and think, maybe this isn't for me. They face rejection and decide, maybe I should give up. But hear me, just because the road is hard doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. In fact, the enemy doesn't attack what isn't a threat. The reason you're facing obstacles is because your purpose is too big to go unchallenged. Think about an eagle. When a storm comes, most birds look for shelter, but the eagle doesn't run. It spreads its wings and lets the wind lift it higher. That's what obstacles are supposed to do in your life. Not break you, but take you higher. The hardship is not there to destroy you, it is there to develop you. The rejection is not there to block you, it is there to redirect you to something better. Every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. David didn't run from Goliath, he ran toward him. Joseph didn't let betrayal and imprisonment stop him. He kept believing, kept serving, and eventually walked into his destiny. Job lost everything, but he refused to curse God, and in the end, he got back double for everything he lost. What if they had quit when it got hard? What if they had let the obstacle define their future? They would have never reached their promise. Some of you are facing obstacles right now, and the enemy is whispering, it's too much. You should quit. It's not worth it. But let me tell you something. The fact that the fight is so intense means your breakthrough is closer than you think. The hardest battles come right before the biggest blessings. The moment you feel like giving up is often the moment you are about to step into something greater. So stop looking at obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Because every trial, every hardship, every challenge is molding you into the person you need to be for where God is taking you. You are stronger than you think. You are built to endure. You are equipped to overcome. So don't let obstacles make you quit. Let them make you stronger. Because on the other side of this struggle is your victory. Stay on track and keep pushing forward. The people you surround yourself with will either push you toward your destiny or pull you away from it. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Not everyone has the capacity to handle the weight of your calling. Some people will celebrate you when you're on their level, but the moment you start to rise, they will try to pull you back down. You have to be discerning about who you allow in your circle, because the wrong company can derail your destiny. Look at a tree. When it's young, it can grow anywhere, but as it matures, its roots require the right soil, the right environment, the right nutrients to keep growing. If it stays in unhealthy soil for too long, it will stop growing and eventually wither. The same applies to your life. If you stay connected to people who drain you, who speak doubt into you, who pull you into distractions, your growth will be stunted. Some people are weight in your life when they were supposed to be wind. They were meant to encourage you, but instead they discourage you. They were meant to push you forward, but instead they hold you back. Pay attention to the people around you. Do they fuel your fire or do they put it out? Do they challenge you to be better or do they keep you stuck in old habits? Do they push you toward your purpose or do they distract you from it? Look at Jesus. He had crowds, followers, disciples, but only a few in his inner circle. He loved everybody, but he didn't allow everybody access to his most intimate moments. Why? Because not everyone is qualified to handle what God is doing in you. There are some things God is birthing in you that cannot be exposed to the wrong people. Some dreams, some visions, some plans need to be protected until the right time. If you share them with the wrong people, they will try to kill them before they even have a chance to grow. And don't be surprised when certain people walk away when you start moving toward purpose. Sometimes God allows people to exit your life because they were never meant to stay for the whole journey. Some people were only assigned to a season, but if you hold on to them longer than you should, they will become a distraction instead of a destiny connection. Surround yourself with people who speak life into you. People who remind you of your calling when you start to doubt. People who won't let you settle for less than what you were created for. Because the truth is, your environment will determine your elevation. You can't soar like an eagle if you're always surrounded by chickens. You can't run your race if you're constantly carrying people who refuse to move forward. So take a good look at your circle. Pray for wisdom to know who should stay and who should go, because the right relationships will fuel your faith, push you forward, and keep you on track. The journey will not always be easy, but if you refuse to quit, you will make it. Too many people stop just short of their breakthrough because they let weariness, frustration, and delays convince them that their promise isn't coming. But let me tell you something. If you keep going, if you refuse to give up, if you stay on track, you will see everything God has for you. Look at a farmer. He plants the seed, he waters it, he nurtures it, but he doesn't see the harvest right away. There are weeks, months, maybe even years before he sees the full results of what he planted. But even though he doesn't see it growing above the surface, he knows that something is happening beneath the soil. He knows that if he just stays consistent, if he just keeps tending to what he planted, the harvest will come in due season. And that's how life works. You might not see the results yet. You might feel like nothing is changing, like all your effort is going unnoticed. But let me remind you, just because you don't see movement doesn't mean nothing is happening. There are some blessings that take time to develop. There are some breakthroughs that require patience and endurance. You might be in the middle of a difficult season, but if you don't give up, your time will come. This is why you have to be careful not to make permanent decisions based on temporary emotion. Too many people throw away their destiny because they let temporary pain make them walk away from something God was still working on. Some of the greatest victories in life come right after the hardest battles. The moment you feel like quitting is often the moment you are closest to your breakthrough. Think about Joseph. He was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, thrown into prison, and forgotten. He had every reason to give up, but he didn't quit. He kept believing, kept trusting, kept moving forward, and in the end, he walked into everything God had promised him. Or think about the Israelites. After 40 years in the wilderness, they were standing on the edge of the promised land. But before they could enter, they had to march around the walls of Jericho 7 times. What if they had stopped on the 6th time? What if they had given up before the final lap? They would have never seen the walls fall. They would have missed their victory. Some of you are on your 6th lap right now, thinking about quitting. But let me tell you, keep marching, keep believing, keep pushing. You are too close to turn back now. The enemy wants you to give up because he knows what's on the other side of your endurance. He knows that if you keep going, you will step into the breakthrough, the blessing, the victory that was always meant for you. So I don't care how tired you feel, how many setbacks you faced, or how many times you've been knocked down. Get back up, stay on track, and keep moving forward. Because if you don't quit, you will make it. You have a purpose. You have a destiny. You have an assignment that is too important to abandon, too valuable to neglect, and too powerful to be stopped by distractions, obstacles, or doubt. But staying on track is a choice. No one can make it for you. No one can walk this path for you. You have to make up in your mind that no matter what comes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter who walks away or what stands in your way, you will keep going. The vision is set. The goal is in front of you. The calling is real. So don't let distractions pull you off course. Don't let obstacles make you turn around. Don't let the wrong people slow you down. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay determined, because the road may not be easy, but if you refuse to quit, if you refuse to be swayed, if you refuse to let go of what God placed in your spirit, you will see the promise. You didn't come this far to stop now. You didn't fight through the pain just to turn around. You are too close to quit. So plant your feet, lift your head, and declare over your life, I will stay on track. I will not be moved. I will finish what I started, because on the other side of your endurance is your breakthrough, your blessing, and your destiny. Stay on track. Your future is waiting for you.